Good morning. It's Miss Jackson, and today is April the 9th, 2020. I want to start off with a few reminders for distant learning. Don't forget to answer your attendance questions in the Class Dojo portfolios. You can only view that page using a laptop or a personal computer. It will not work on mobile devices at this time. Also, don't forget the report cards for quarter 3 have been emailed. If you have not received yours, please contact your homeroom teacher. Don't forget to complete your items that are listed in Study Island in no red ink. Also, there's no school on Friday. Yay! So you get a break there, much needed break. And also want to remind everybody to please stay safe. Today, instead of a fun fact, I thought about what will be most useful and meaningful. So today we're going to watch a video, hand washing for kids, how to get rid of germs, and what they do to our bodies.
Dilliga, really your friend? Do you know what a rhinovirus is? And no, I'm not talking about a big four-legged animal with a horn on its nose. Rhinovirus is a fancy name for one of the germs that could give you a cold. And germs are those nasty little things that are so small, you can't even see them. But they'll make you sick if they get in your eyes or your nose or your mouth. Sounds pretty scary, huh? But you don't have to be afraid of germs. Not if you're a superstar hand washer. It's easy. All you have to do is know why, when, and how to wash your hands. And then, of course, actually wash them. Let's look at them one by one. Why should you wash your hands? Because it's the best way to not get sick or spread germs. And I don't know anybody who likes being sick. When should you wash your hands? Before you eat. After you use the bathroom. If you've coughed or sneezed. When you clean up after pets. Or anytime they look or feel dirty. Makes sense to me. How should you wash your hands? With soap and water, scrub them real good, and dry off with a nice clean towel. And make sure you wash them for about 15 to 20 seconds. You could tell how long that is by singing the Superstar Hand Washer song. Are you ready to play Let's Pretend?
Yeah!
Say the magic words with me. Silliga-dilliga-billiga-willy. Now imagine you're a world-famous rock star singing your latest smash hit song, Superstar Hand Washer. 1, 2, 3, hey! Germs, go away. Wash my hands, that's what I say. Do it right, do it now. I know why we have to. I'm a superstar hand washer. Superstar hand washer. Yeah. Now if you want to be a superstar hand washer, just remember why, when, how. Let's sing that song again. 1, 2, 3, hey! Germs, go away. Wash my hands, that's what I say. Do it right, do it now. I know why we have to. I'm a superstar hand washer. One more time. Superstar hand washer. Yeah.
Why should you wash your hands? Because of germs like me.
Soon, go away. Get off your hands, that's what I say.
When should you wash your hands? I say never. That's because I'm a germ.
Do it right, do it now. I know why.
How should you wash your hands, you ask? Well, germs say don't use soap and water and don't scrub for 15 to 20 seconds and use a really dirty towel to dry your hands.
One more time. Yeah! One more, right?
I'm a germ.
Okay, let's be superstar hand washers that will cut down the germs and the illnesses. Okay, so let's go over what we worked on the last time we met. Let's just go over these practice questions, and your pop question will be answered in this video as well. What number is represented by point N on the number line? So the first thing we needed to do was to count the spaces to see how many spaces were between 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we have 10 spaces. So we know that it takes 10 spaces to get to the next number, or in between the numbers. So now let's go and count and see which one N is on. 1, 2, 3, 4. So your answer would be 1.4, which is A. Number 6. Andrea shaded some parts of a model showing hundreds. Let's underline hundreds because that's going to be important to our answer. Then she wrote the decimal that represents the parts she shaded. How many digits did Andrea write to the right of the decimal point? Okay, so what they're asking us is how many digits did Andrea write to the right of the decimal point? So let's do our place value chart. So we have our ones, then what comes next to the ones? Your decimal point, then your tenths, and then your hundreds. So if she wrote this in the hundreds, so how many decimal points did she move? To the right of it. So 1, 2. So the answer is 2. Alright, let's get to our pop question. What part of the model is shaded? Well, it's a block of 100. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she shaded half of it. So half of 1 will be 0.50. Congratulations to those that got that correct. I saw them in the when you posted your answers. Good job. Alright, number 8. Mattel has $4, 2 quarters, 1 dime, 1 nickel, and 2 pennies. How much money does Mattel have? Okay, so let's add $4. Well, let's get some paper so we can perform it on scratch paper. $4. 2 quarters is how much? 50 cents. 1 dime is 10 cents. 1 nickel is 5 cents. Notice I put the 0. And then also 2 pennies is 2 cents. Let's add that up. 0, 0, 0, zeros. 5 plus 2, 7. Notice how I kept my place value. All my numbers are lined up. You line them up at the decimal point. Okay, so 0 and 5 is 5. 5 and 1 is 6. 6 plus 0 and 0 is 6. And then this is my decimal point place. And I'm going to bring down my dollars. So Mattel has $4.67. Your answer would be A. Number 9. What number is represented by point A on the number line? Record your answers and fill in the bubbles. Be sure to use the correct place value. Correct place value is important. So A, let's count how many spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is a normal 10. 7 to 8 is 10 spaces. So let's go. So we know our whole number is 7. That's right there here. Then we have a decimal point, and let's see how many. 1, 2, 3. So it's 7.3. That's your answer. So you will record that right here. Remember, the 3 goes behind the decimal point, and the 7 goes in front. It's a 7 whole and then 3 spaces to the 8. So it's 7.3. And you bubble that in like that. And last but not least, what is 9/10 written as a decimal? Okay, so the easiest thing to do is just complete a place value chart. So we have our ones, then we have our decimal point, and then we have our tenths, and then we have our hundreds. So it says 9/10. So it didn't say anything about anything in the ones place. We still have to bring our decimal point down, and it says 9/10, 9, and it don't say anything about hundreds. So our answer would be D, 0.9. Thank you all that participated in the activity. Now let's move on. Let's throw a brief, today's April the 9th. We're going to be relating decimals to fractions. After I read getting the idea, I want you to pause the video and write the what's in the brackets. This would be good for your vocabulary. Okay, a decimal is another way to write a fraction. A decimal point separates the whole number part from the fractional part in a decimal. A fraction and a decimal that represent the same number are equivalent. Now we remember equivalent, right? That means what? Same or equal to. An equivalent fraction and decimal can be represented using the same model. They can also be represented by the same distance from 0 on a number line. Okay, go ahead and pause and write. Let's look at the first example. In word form, this model will be called 6/10 because it's 10 strips and only 6 is shaded. In the decimal form, in the fraction form, it will be 6 shaded over the entire 10. So 6 is what's shaded and 10 will be your the whole. So your part and a whole. Remember the song, part and a whole? Okay. Now in decimals, 6/10. The 6 is in the tenths place. Now let's look at it on the number line. So we had started this right before we left. And so I'm going to review it because I don't know if everybody got a chance to practice this skill. So from 0 to 1 you have 10 spaces. You want to count them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So each from 0 to 1, each space is worth 1/10. So we go down to 6/10, which is right here where the dot is, and that's how we represent 6/10 on a number line. So not only is it 6/10, there's 6/10 here and 6/10 in a word form. Got it? Okay. Let's go to the next one. In the word form, this model shows 45 hundredths. Why from tenths to hundreds? Notice that this model is only in strips of 10, but these are in cubes of 100. So they took the 10 strips and then made 10 rows. So that's how we got 100, right? So this is 4,500. Let's see how much is shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 45 over 100. Or in decimal form, 45 hundredths. Now on a number line, you see you have more little lines, tick lines in between the dark lines. So from 0 to 1, so this is 0 and this is 1 whole. So to find 4,500, it will be between 40 and 50, and it'll be smack in the middle. So between each of these, it's 10. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So you would go halfway between 40 and 50 and mark 4,500. Okay, example 1. Write 8/10 as a decimal. Well, we already know. Well, let's not go. Let's try to follow the steps. I'm always ready to go faster than the steps. Use models in a place value chart. That's what I would do. Step 1. Model 8/10. So you would draw a square. You would divide that square into 10 pieces, and then you would shade 8 parts. So it'll be 8 out of 10 parts are shaded. 8/10 are shaded. Now we're going to write the decimal in a place value chart. To write 8/10, you write an 8 in the tenths place. So your decimal chart, your place value chart, make sure you add your decimal point in the chart in the tenths and the hundredths place, and then you will put the 8 in the tenths place. So 8/10 written as a decimal is 0.8. Example 2. Write 34 over 100 as a decimal. Your strategies, we're going to use them place value chart and models. So we're going to model 100, box with 100, and we're going to shade how many? 34. Right. There are 100 squares in the grid. Each square represents 1 over 100. So you're going to shade 34 squares. So when you shade 34 squares, you're showing that is 34 over 100. Now to write the decimal in a place value chart, you're going to write the last digits of 34 in the 100 place. So you can start with the 4 and record your 4, and then write your 3, and then your decimal point and your 0. So 34 over 100 written as a decimal is 0.34. Example number 3. Write 2/10 as a decimal. Show the decimal on the number line. So the strategy, we're going to show tenths on the number line. So we're going to read the fraction to identify the decimal. So 2/10 is 2/10. 2/10 written as a decimal has a 2 in the tenths place. 2/10 equals 0.2. You're going to draw a number line that represents the tenths. You're going to divide the whole number line into 10 equal parts. Label each tenth on the number line. So from 0 to 1, you're going to draw 10 marks, and then you're going to label each mark with a decimal going up to 1. So the first one will be 0.1, then the next will be 0.2, all the way to 0.9. Now if we had 0.10, that is the same thing as saying what? 1. Great job. Then you're going to locate 0.2 on the number line, 0.2 on the number line. Count at 0, count 2 tick marks to the right. Since each mark represents 1/10, the second mark represents 2/10 or 0.2. So that's what I'm drawing the number line. So your solution would be 2/10 written as a decimal is 0.2. The number line in step 3 shows 0.2. This next one is our coach example, meaning we're going to have to write. So you'll write 68 over 100 as a decimal. Show the decimals on the number line. Alright, read the fraction. 68 over 100 is 68 hundredths. Written as a decimal, 6800 should have a or an blank in the tens place, and a or an in the hundreds place. So we know that the 6 will go in the tens place, and the 8 will go in the hundreds place. So now we can write on a place value chart. We have no holes. We only have the fraction part, the decimal part. Or let's say let's put it in money. We have no dollars. We don't have any whole dollars. We only have change. So we're going to put that on the decimal. We're going to put that on the place value chart as a decimal. Do not forget your decimal point. It is so important. If your decimal point is missing, your answer is incorrect. This number line, excuse me, this number line shows hundreds. There are blank hundreds between each tenths. So how many hundreds are between each tenths? Remember when I tell you when you see all of these, that means it's how many? There are 10 hundredths between each tenths. So between here is 10, between there is 10 more, that gives it 20, so on and so on. So plot a point at point 68 on the number line. Start at 60.60. Since each mark represents 1, count how many number lines to the right. So how many numbers will we count to the right? 8, right? So 1. So what goes here? 1/10. No. Yeah, 1/10. And then you count 8 tick marks to the right. So you start at 60 and we'll go all the way to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 68. It's 0.68. So 68 written as a decimal is 0.68. The decimal is shown on the number line. Got it? Okay, so this is our practice page. I want you to complete numbers 1, 2, 3, pop, 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 and number 4. So let me read these for you so you can make sure that you have the right questions. Okay, number 1, which fraction is represented by the point on the number line? So you will have to look at the number line, select the correct answer. Number 2, what is 4/10 written as a decimal? You will figure that out. Circle the right answer. Number 3, pop, 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 pop. Which fraction is equivalent to 0.34 or 34 hundredths? You would answer this question and you would send it on your portfolio, or you would send a message to me on Class Dojo, or to your homeroom teacher, and she or he will forward it to me. Number 4, for which model does the shaded part represent 25 over 100? A, B, C, or D? Okay, so remember, if I move the paper too fast for you, you can always pause the video, complete the work, and then unpause it to finish the work. If there is nothing else, I will see you on Monday. Remember, Friday, which is tomorrow, there is no school. Enjoy your weekend, your long weekend at that, and stay safe, everybody.